Hi my darlings, I'm Sophie Darling and welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to episode 8 of season 2 of Frieren, and I am so excited to see how this picks up because we saw Ganal sprouting the wings, which must be what he got from Seri when he became a first mage. We haven't glimpsed in too much detail the battles happening in the woods with Frieren, Mafode, and Fern because the focus was more on how they were getting themselves situated for the battle ahead, and Frieren's kind of like, Fern, you got this. More so testing the waters, allowing Fern to show her strength and her capability. And also, I feel like this is good for Fern that she actually gets to fight a really strong demon from the north. Like, she's fought a demon before, like Lugna, I think was his name. So like she has some experience, but I think the more they go into the north, the more demons they're going to encounter, and they're very different to Lugna. So she needs to be aware of how strong they are, their abilities, their tactics. So this is sort of another way for Frieren to teach Fern about what enemies they're going to be facing. But Ganal's savageness to Revolt was phenomenal, where Revolt was like, we both speak the same language, no? Sort of condemning him for not having the courtesy of talking to him. But Ganal's like, I don't deal with pests. I don't converse with you because I'm going to exterminate you. I love that the only two people we see with that level of malice and anger towards demons is Ganal and Frieren. They're very alike in that pure, unrivaled hatred for demons, because we also know from when Frieren was coming into the church, Ganal thought it was a demon. And even Mafode was like, the level of murderous intent was terrifying because he was refusing to hold back. He wanted, by all means necessary, to exterminate this demon. But if you grew up in the north and you had to deal with demons rampaging, ravaging cities, you would have that level of like anger and vehemence towards them, similar to Frieren. But it's just so funny to see a human have that same level of visceral rage towards demons that Frieren has, considering how long Frieren's been alive, that she was part of the party of heroes to take down the Demon King, that she was raised by Flamma, and Flamma also had this like hatred for demons. It was on sight when she saw them, so Frieren kind of inherited that from her, but she also has her own trauma from not being able to protect her village from a demon attack. She was the only survivor, so she's kind of harbored that. And then Flamma didn't really help things because Flamma kind of deeply entrenched it into her further. But it's the fact that Ganal's not been alive anywhere near as long as Frieren, and even he's like, it's on sight, they're pests. You don't converse with pests, you eradicate them, you exterminate them, and that's all I'm here to do. I'm not here to talk with you. I have no interest in you. I just want to exterminate you. It was just phenomenal. It was on site. It's going to be incredibly epic. And we also got information of how there's a demon that is studying humans. And again, I mentioned that it has to be because humans have become the next power to rival demons. They have become so incredibly strong. They've been working on magic to develop Zoltrak, to weaponize his magic against demonkind. You know, humans have been studying demons because they are the enemy of humans. So humans have spent all this time figuring out how they can stand a chance against them. Like how with Frieren's help and other mages all coming together, they developed Zoltrak, which has now become so commonly used as defensive magic, but at the time was revolutionary. At the time, it was the turning point that Qual's magic that he had spent his whole life perfecting, that was the great fear of humanity and mages alike, was then weaponized as defensive magic against other mages, but against demons. It became so commonplace that it no longer had the same power that it did. And Frieren also used that against Qual himself. We know that humans have been studying demons' ability to fly that they have now begun to adapt that themselves. Frieren can fly, Fern can fly, others have been able to do the same thing. So they're learning from demons, they're learning their magical capabilities because they are the natural enemy. So they have to know them intimately in order to beat them. Likewise, what we're seeing is demons understanding that too, that the natural enemy of demons is also humans. You know, it always makes me think back to series 1 where Seri and Frieren are talking after Flammer's death, and Frieren was talking about how the era of humans is upon us and that she was looking forward to seeing how humans develop magic, how magic becomes more interesting and exciting. There's more room for development. Now that it's become more accessible to humans, there's this opportunity for something new to come of it. And that excited Frieren. As a lover of magic, she was excited to see what humans would do. And now demons are also understanding that the era of humans is upon them, that the era of humans is not to be overlooked. This is a threat to their existence. It's a threat to their claim on territory in the north. So they have to start investing research into humans likewise. They need to understand them because they're so removed from the emotions that humans have that what seems like irrational and bizarre behavior isn't actually irrational and bizarre behavior. It's just human nature. But because demons don't experience those emotions, it seems irrational to them. So it makes so much sense that demons would then make studying humans a priority. And Revolt's like, it's weird. He said like this demon that was studying it was strange, seen as being quite quirky. And this young girl's curiosity in them too is seen as being abnormal because they probably are still believing themselves superior to humanity. So they're kind of maybe shrugging it off as we don't need to know about humans because we are the true power and humans are irrelevant. It's that like cocky pride. But there's clearly demons that are aware that in order to defeat humans, they need to know humans and they need to study them. In the same way that humanity studied demons to overcome them, humans now need to do the same thing because humans now rival them. They now have the strength and capability to challenge them. So they need to make sure that they're prepared for that this era of humanity doesn't go unrecognized and unchecked, that they can hold their own against them. So it's like a subtle recognition that humanity is gaining strength enough for demons to actually take note and be wary of the threat that they could pose towards them. I think as well, some of it may come from just genuine curiosity. Like that young girl, it was almost like a childlike curiosity and want to know more about them, which is similar to Flammer. Flammer was also curious about demons and wanted to know about them. And all the information she gathered, she used to her own benefit, but she also passed down to Frieren. So I think this curiosity is only natural when you have something that's so different to yourself. You want to know more about it. So it works both ways. It works in terms of you want to ensure that humanity's strength doesn't rival your own. So you need to be aware of how to overcome humans and adapt to their developments and their knowledge. But at the same time, I think that curiosity is also natural because humans are curious about demons. They want to know more about demons. They want to learn everything that they can. So it would make sense that we also have demons wanting to know the same thing, because when you have something that acts so different to yourself, it's natural that you want to know why that is. It's this questioning element that we all have. And it's the one sort of connection that we see between demons and humans that sort of unites them in the sense that we have demons wanting to know about humans because they're kind of fascinated by it and they want to weaponize it so that they don't lose to humans too, because humans are their enemies. So of course, but it's just funny that they're like, they act irrational. I don't understand why they do what they do. It's because demons don't have those emotions. But humans also do the same thing with demons. So like, I don't understand why demons do X, Y, and Z. It's because demons don't think the same way as humans. So it's this fascination with something other to yourself, this sense of difference that you want to know the unknown. So I love that little crossover, almost like bonding situation where you have demons being curious about humans in the same way that humans are curious about demons. This want to know more about them, this want to understand why they act the way that they do. It's just a nice little bridging moment. Of course, that's not going to change the situation of them being enemies, but it is nice that it's not only on human side that they're curious, that they want to ensure that they can defend themselves against demons, that demons are also feeling this pressure, that they're feeling this rise of humanity's strength, that they have to know humans in order to defeat humans. But I think some of it also comes from just genuine curiosity of, why did they act so different to myself? Why did they do this when I would do that? Why are they so emotional and flighty and hard to read? It's because they have emotional connections that demons don't. And I love that. I think it's so cool. I also just want to show this Frieren piece that I got from the anime tattoo convention in Belfast last weekend. And we have Frieren and Himmel and Himmel's Flowers. And this was by Cedarwood Tattoo. Amazing, amazing tattoo artist. Does a lot of Elden Ring and Dark Souls and Bloodborne tattoos and a lot of Final Fantasy. I've never played Final Fantasy, but some of their Final Fantasy pieces, stunning. And I had to get the Frieren print, so it's going to go on my wall somewhere in the backdrop. But I am also getting another Frieren tattoo. If you're new here and you don't know the lore, I have Frieren's staff and Himmel's flowers tattooed on my shin, and I'm probably going to get another 2 Frieren tattoos because I really want to get the image of Frieren with the downturned ears and the popsicle because it's just adorable. So I really want to get that tattooed, but I also really want to get Frieren's temper tantrum tattooed on me. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of Frieren tattoos. I also need to get Fern's staff and Stark's axe as well at some point because I have Frieren's staff, but Frieren's staff is quite large. So if I get Fern's staff and Stark's axe, they're gonna have to be a lot smaller in order to fit near it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm also going to the Frieren concert in London in May, and I'm so excited. I get to go and listen to the OST live because the music in Frieren is absolutely stunning. I was debating whether I was going to go because it's a lot of money. Not a lot of money for tickets, but it's a lot of money for like traveling and food when you're there. And obviously you have to get somewhere to stay. So I was a bit like, do I go? Tickets are really well priced. I will give them that. They're very affordable. It's just more everything else is the expensive part. So I was like, do I go? And then I was like, I would regret not going because the OST is stunning. And if it was Attack on Titan, I would be there in a heartbeat. So I kind of have to go to this. It was like when I flew all the way to Paris for the Elden Ring OST concert. No regrets, worth the money. So yes, I can't wait to watch the OST live in May, and I will be letting you know how it is. I probably won't be doing any filming while I'm there because I'm not very good at vlogging and I feel very uncomfortable filming in public. I don't like people looking at me and perceiving me. So yeah, I don't think I'll film any vlogs or anything, but I will obviously let you know when I'm back what I thought of it. But without further ado, let's get into episode 8. So cool. Oh, what? Oh man. The animation this season has been phenomenal. Ah! You got too close. Oh my god. I can barely keep track of his movements. I hope we don't lose Ganal. I'm kind of scared that we're gonna lose him. That like he'll take out Revolt, but he'll die in the process. I'm so scared that that's what's gonna happen. Whoa! Stuck! Oh!
バカが正面から受けるなと
Baby boy!
もらった。
Oh!
こいつわざと丈夫なやつめ。
Oh, it was bait! He learned that from his last fight with Demon.
おかげでほんのわずかの隙ができた。お前以前殺した一級魔法使いの片割れだな。
Oh, he remembers. Damn.
今と似たような状況だった。
Oh no!
相棒の最後を知りたくないか。黙れ。あの戦いでは実に面白い教訓が
He's
得られた。
using his words to manipulate Ganal. Don't listen. You know better. Oh! His hand! It's near like the hilt of a blade.
もっとしっかりやった方がいい。
No, 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 no. Oh, you're such a good guy. No! Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, it looks weird, but like...
あいつが一瞬頭をよぎった。こんなところに子供なんているはずないのにな。やはり私の読みは正しかった。人には子供を
Demons don't. That's why he was so happy to sacrifice that young demon.
人にそんな習性があったら世界
Oh,
はもっと
genau.
平和になっているだろうさ。私の知る限り見ず知らずのガキをかばって死んだバカは。
この子は少し優しすぎたのかもしれんな。いつの時代もそうだ。優しい魔法使いは長生きできん。
立派な最後でした。
I'm gonna cry.
ゲナ、お前は嫌なやつだ。優しさのかけらもない。
I don't think that's fully
ずっと
true.
そのままでいる。
Oh, that's why he told Mafode, don't end up like me. Because he promised to never have a shred of kindness.
やっぱり柄でもないことはするものじゃないな。
Ah! Stag!
驚いた。私の剣を正面から受け止められる戦士がまさかこの世に存在したとは。
There are kind people in this world, and he'll prove to you that not all kind people die.
戦いってのは最後まで立っていたやつが勝つんだぜ。
Oh,
お前いいやつだと思っていたが。
he's not an idiot. He'll prove you wrong.
考えは悪く。その七に私も付き合おう。シュタルク。戦いは追い詰められるほど生き残った時の感動は大きいぞ。
Oh, I'm so emotional. Acted out of character even though he knew it couldn't be a child because all he could think about was his partner and what his partner would do. He is a good guy, even if he doesn't see it. Is she just watching from the air?
たまには高みの見物っていうのも悪くはないかな。
Yeah. The learning lesson for you both. I'm not a first mage. This isn't my job. This is your job. Oh!
魔力を消して潜伏しても無駄だぞ。わずかな魔力にも反応して対象を捕捉する。この世に魔力を完全に消せる生物はいないからな。
That was so cool. She's so unfazed.
この気配。フェリンさんも苦戦しているようです
She's
ね。
like, this is
無理もあり
nothing.
ません。
I can
相
do
手二人で
this.
奇抜な魔法を使う魔族のようですから。メドロジュバルト。
Oh, she's so badass.
お前の相手は私だ。
分かっています。
The fact that she can fight her but think about Fern's battle at the same time and not skip a beat. Goddess. She's amazing.
純粋に隙がない。正面から戦ってはいけないタイプの敵ですね。 このままだと潜伏というフェルンさんの強みが活かせない。ならば魔法の霧が晴れれば戦局が大きく動きますね。
Is she gonna remove
わ
it?
れますか？
Oh! Let's go, Mafode! Oh, I love her. The little smirk on her face. It's like you fell for it.
北部高原で魔族を飼っていた一族の戦い方に似ている。魔族を殺すために生涯を捧げるような。
Is she from that clan? That would make sense why she's so unfazed by demons. Oh, he's losing it! Oh no!
達人のような動きから打って変わってまるで獰猛な肉食獣のような動きだ。
Because his back's against the corner. Ganal!
人類とはかけ離れた強靭な肉体と無尽蔵な体力。
Like an injured animal in a corner. They'll fight to the end. He's not even dignifying him with a look. His focus is on Ganal, but I think that's going to be his downfall. Oh, Stark! Like, if you're not gonna dignify me with your attention, I'll get your attention myself. Holy! Oh my god. Stunning. Oh, the music is so good.
確かに凄まじい猛攻だが、なぜか
It's a
殺意が
distraction,
眠っている。
right?
あら、やはり鋭いですね。ですが気が
Oh, she's not even there.
ちょうど霧の解
Has
析
she
が
gone
終
to
わり
help
ました。
Fern?
戦いしか知らない者は戦いのための魔法しか覚えられない。私以外の一族のものであればこの状況は打開できなかったでしょ
So she's different.
う。魔法が楽しいものだと彼らは知らないでしょうから。エリル・フラーテ。
She was using all this as a distraction so she could get rid of the fog for fun. What a team player. What a goddess. What a queen.
あの小娘はどこに？
Oh, you're fucked now. Ah! Fern the Slayer in her era.
攻撃、一体どこから？
Up above.
ソルトラーク。あの人。
Oh, I love that it's the same as when we see Frieren against the moon. When we learn that she's the Slayer.
二度とこんなきつい戦いはしたくないです。
You might not have a choice. All that practicing to hit that boulder in season 1 as a child paid off over time. Oh, phenomenal.
終わりだ、レボルテ。素手は武器にはなり得ない。人間の発想だ。こうして武器を失えばもう戦えないと思い込む。思い込みか。それは人も魔族も変わらないな。
Oh
お
no.
前は人間のしぶとさを知らない。
They don't stop. They never give up. Underestimating humans was your downfall. Oh, the This episode was insane. How are they both still well? Fuck. Oh, I'm so scared that Ganal's actually gonna die.
俺にはあんたがいいやつに見えるよ。
He is, isn't he?
こんなになっちまった村をまだ守ろうとして。
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to cope.
まだ俺を助けようとするんだな。やっぱりな。
You are a good person.
いいやつだよ。
Oh, stop. Oh. The tenacity and the strength to pull himself across the ground to Stark to save him. Oh, wow.
メトーデ、
Oh, he's okay.
私はまた死に損なったのか。
Yeah, thank God.
もういい、動ける。
I feel silly for crying.
ゲナウさんよりも治療を優先させたので。
Oh, he pointed at him. He told her to do it.
そうか。
ご不満ですか？
いや。
No,
あい
it's
つは
what he
よくやって
wanted.
くれた。
Oh. She's so sick of the petting.
もうだいぶ良くなってきたな。
Oh, man.
もしかしてシュトルク様って化け物だったのでしょうか。
痛い。
ところで、このパーティーって僧侶がいないんですね。
She's like, please no.
怒る光年は僧侶の魔法がないと危険ですから。
回復魔法のような高度な魔法は無理だけど、私も僧侶の魔法なら多少は使えるし。
Because of
本当
sign.
にやばい状況になったら逃げるからね。それにこのパーティーの僧侶の席は
No!
まだ空いていからね。
The sign.
いつかまた会えるかもしれない。それにね、なんだかメトーデがいるとフェルンが不機嫌になる。
あらあら、嫌われてしまいましたね。でも私フェルンさんのことも大好きですよ。
私たちも南部まで護衛に
To
加わ
bury
る
the
ことになっ
dead.
た。
Oh, Ganal, you did the village proud. You did
ここ
all
で
of them
お前たちとは
proud.
お別れだな。お前たちには借りができたな。いずれ必ず返す。
お礼。
ありがとう。
She's like, you
こちら
need
こそ
to
だよ。
say thank you.
お互い長生きしようぜ。
Oh,
行くぞ。
because they're both good guys.
またね。
They're both kind.
またどこかで。
May they be the difference. She looks very pleased with herself.
このパーティーの僧侶はザインでしょ。
They'll meet him
そうじゃなく
again.
て綺麗なお姉さんだぜ。合流した時ザインにいろいろ言われるんじゃないか。
別にいいんじゃない。このパーティー
Frieren.
にはもうお姉さんがいるでしょ。
Oh. Oh, Christ. This was such an emotional episode. I didn't even have anything to like dry my tears, so I'm just freeballing over here. Jeez. The fact that even though he knew that it was a trick, that it wasn't going to be a child, he's still active instinctively, which shows he's such a good guy. He did what his partner did. He called his partner a fool and that he was an idiot for sacrificing himself to save a child, but he still did the same thing because it was that instinctive desire to protect someone in need, someone weaker than yourselves. And I know he says it's because he's thinking about his partner at the time and that's what his partner would have done and that's why he acts that way. And I think it is partly that, but I think as well it's this part of himself that can't allow a potential innocent to die. So even if it is a trick, even if it's not real, that slim 1% chance that it is actually a child that did get overlooked, that did survive, it's worth risking yourself for. The way in which he's saying you humans have an instinctive desire to protect your young, literally as he watches this young demon child get slaughtered and then just thanks her for her sacrifice, shows the contrast between demons and humans. That humans would never sacrifice a child if they could do something to protect them. He didn't care. He saw it as a means to an end. So again, just emphasizing the way in which humans and demons are so very different, that we would do anything that we can to protect those in need, to protect those that are more vulnerable in society, especially children, because children are innocent. So we want to inherently, by our nature, do what we can to ensure their safety, even if it means putting ourselves in harm's way. It's a part of human instinct. But demons lack that. And we knew that from season 1 because they don't raise their own young. They're self-sufficient. From a younger age, they raise themselves. They don't have this connection to parents in the way that humans do. So he doesn't recognize this child as something to mourn or to protect. He just sees this demon child as a means to an end, that it's deserving of its death because it was a noble sacrifice for his inevitable aims. Whereas Ganal couldn't allow a potential child to die for his aims, which is again showing that his actions speak louder than his words. His words are never entirely true. They're never entirely how he's actually thinking and feeling. They're almost like a shield to hide himself, to not be seen as weak or vulnerable. And I think it's because of having grown up in the North that he doesn't want to let his guard down, because in letting his guard down, it leaves him susceptible to the hurt that demon attacks can have and the loss of so many lives can have. And when you grow up in the North, you see so much death that you kind of become almost hardened to it. You can't allow it to get to you in the same way. So I think for him, the stoicism is a mask to hide how he actually feels, because he doesn't want his emotions to be used against him. I think his actions always show that he is a good guy. The fact that he's pointing at Stark, and that's why Mafode treated him first over him. It wasn't her choice to actually do that. She wasn't picking Stark over Ganal. It was Ganal that told her through his body, through his actions again, that he wanted her to focus on Stark. The fact that he is grievously wounded, bleeding out, and he's still like desperately pushing himself up, showing the tenacity of humankind, that he won't allow himself to just give up and fade into death. As he says, did I fail to die again? Because he can't give up. He knows that he has another purpose, another mission that he needs to strive towards. And the fact that he's trying to get to Stark, he's trying to help him, even collapsing from the blood loss in that process, just shows how much he actually does care about everyone around him, how much he is willing to put himself through if it means helping others, if it means saving another life. Just Ganal, I love how quickly he has become like a top 5 character. Like his whole story, how his actions contradict his words, the way in which he accepts Stark saying you are actually a good guy. Phenomenal. Chef's kiss. I love this development of him. I love that we see more of him beyond his proctoring in season 1, that we get more context, and the way in which Seri is saying to him that you shouldn't be kind, that you should lock that away, you should continue to be the way that you are. And I think it can be read in 2 ways, in that when he said to Mafode, don't become like me, it's in reference to this promise to Seri, where he essentially promised to not be kind, because kindness is a fool's game. It gets you killed, you live a short life. And he broke his own promise in going for this child that wasn't a child, and he knew it wasn't a child, but he still risked it on the 1% chance that it could be. So he broke his promise, but I think he also wanted to drive home to Mafode that she shouldn't become like him, that she shouldn't lock herself away from kindness, that she shouldn't see it as a weakness or something to be discarded. And I think the other way that it can be read is now that we know that Mafode is actually from the north as well, that she's from this clan that has grown up specializing in hunting demons, which explains why she's so just unfazed. She's so calm and collected to the point that she can think about Fern's fight and come up with a method as to how to help Fern is evident of her teaching of the clan that she's grown up in. But it also makes sense as to why she's quite stoic as well when it comes to killing, because she's so used to death, so used to this mentality of fighting that it doesn't phase her. It's just another aspect of the life that she's already lived. Again, if you're a child having grown up in that environment, you're going to be quite detached from killing and death because it's so commonplace, it's so normal. So I think the way that Ganal's words of "don't become like me," it's Ganal possibly recognizing that Mafode has similar characteristics to him in that they both grew up in the north. Mafode can also be quite desensitized to violence and killing in the same way that he is. So I think it could then be a warning to her that you could end up going down the same path as me, and you shouldn't go down that path because this is what it leads to. So it's like him trying to reassure her, like, you don't have to become like me, be better than I am. I think the second reading is more in line with my thought process at the moment now that we know Mafode's background. And it's his recognition that they are somewhat alike because of their backgrounds, and that there is still an element of kindness within her that he has forsaken and promised that he won't retain to Seri. So I think he sees himself in her, but also sees aspects of her personality that are different to himself. So it's almost like he's trying to warn her to not let go of the kinder demeanor that she does have. Because while she is quite stoic and merciless in her behaviors, there is an element of kindness. I don't think it's a facade. I don't think it's an act. I think this genuine concern that she's displayed towards survivors in an earlier episode in season 1. She was also one of the first to agree to work together, so to collaborate. She also was actively healing those that were injured. So there is an aspect of kindness there. I don't think she is using this facade of loving cute, small women as a deflection, as a way to trick people into thinking that she is kinder than she is. I think there is still an aspect of kindness to her. I don't think we can overlook that humans are complicated and multifaceted. I think, you know, she can be badass and stoic and lean in to wanting to present a certain way in order to not be seen as a threat, hence why her over focus on head pats and cuddling. But at the same time, I think that's not all there is to her, that there is an element of care in that she wants to help those that are injured, that a lot of her focus is on healing magic, is on helping to recover intense injuries. There's also this connection to the goddess and priest magic. So I don't think we only have to read her as one way. I think, like Ganal, she can be read in a multitude of different ways. And I just needed to emphasize that because I got quite a bit of backlash in my previous episode of my reading of Mafode, but I still stand by it. I don't think Mafode is this evil, manipulative individual that people are making her out to be. I think she can be hiding behind a facade whilst at the same time still being someone that genuinely cares about others. Much in the same way that Ganal does hide behind a facade and is genuinely caring about others. But just a phenomenal episode. The action scenes, the fact that Fern was able to take them down with Zoltrak, like Frieren said she'd be able to do, because this was just a test. Frieren didn't get involved because A, she's not a first mage. This isn't her business. B, this is another learning lesson for Fern, because Fern hasn't come across an enemy that difficult before. And she's saying, I don't want any more difficult battles like this, but she's not going to have a choice. They're in the north. And I think Frieren knows that it's only going to get more difficult from here on out. So Fern needs to be prepared. She needs to adapt. She needs to overcome. But I love that she did eventually, once the fog disappeared, was able to show the true power that she has. That even something that is seen as simple defensive magic as the basics is so powerful that it eradicates demons without a second thought. And the fact as well that she did it from so far away, I think references back to season 1 when we watched her like trying over and over and over again to hit that boulder from being a young child, and she only achieves it before Haita's death. So I think that's what it's linking back to, that she's so adept at firing from so far away, is because she's been honing that since she was young. It's been something that she was hell-bent and dedicated to doing, is blasting a hole in that rock, and now she can do it so far at a distance that she can take out a demon without being close to him. And I loved the imagery of Fern in front of the moon, and it's so similar to Frieren when she is fighting Aura and she's against the moon, and you had that realization of Frieren as the slayer. It's now the same thing. Fern is now also a slayer. She is someone to be feared by demons. So just as Frieren's name struck fear into the core of demons during her time in the Party of Heroes, in this new era is going to be Fern. And I think that's the message they're getting across, is that like the torch has been passed. That whilst Frieren is still feared and renowned for being a slayer, she's passing it to Fern now. It's going to be Fern who is feared by this new generation of demons that never interacted with Frieren, that never met Frieren. Frieren will always be feared by the older generation of demons, the demons that were alive during the Party of Heroes, but this newer generation that don't know who Frieren is going to be Fern. She's passing the mantle. Fern is now becoming the Slayer. I love the Stark development and Stark risking himself for Ganal, that he is reiterating that they're going to be different. They're going to be the kind ones that live long lives, because that was the message that was coming across, is like kind people don't live very long because they make silly decisions that lead to their lives being taken in the process. They sacrifice themselves for others. And the reiteration of we're going to live long lives is because they are both good people. They are both kind, but they are going to be the difference. They're not going to live a short life. They're going to help so many people, and they're going to live a long life and die as old men like Himmel did. And yeah, I just love the reiteration of that. Just this, we're going to live long lives. And Ganal's smile and laugh and his acceptance that he is a good person. He can sit and say that he's not a good person, but he's a good person. I am so worried because I have cried at this, and I have Fullmetal Alchemist and Vinland to watch after this. So I'm going to be a wreck. I'm going to have cried, I think, for every single episode bar Demon Slayer today. So it's not going to be a fun day. It's going to be a day of tension headaches, because I get really bad headaches when I cry. So I'm not looking forward to that. But another aspect that I loved is how Revolt reverts to this bestial side. He's been shown as this like dignified warrior, this skilled demon with a blade, that he spent all these years honing his abilities to become this revered, feared figure. And the fact that the minute he finds himself backed into a corner, the minute his opponents overwhelm him, he resorts to this bestial side. He becomes hell-bent on getting punches in wherever he can. It's not about strategy or tactic anymore. It's about survival. And that's what you do when you're backed into a corner, or at least that's what animals do. It's fight or flight. So he's not going to give up, because in his mind, how could these humans overwhelm him after spending all these years honing his skills, becoming a master of the blade? It's almost unfathomable that these two humans could overpower him the way that they are. And it's this reduction that he stops talking to them. He starts grunting and growling. He's resorting to becoming a monster rather than this renowned general. It's just such like a striking display of how quick his regal demeanor, this divine aspect of himself, becomes this cornered animal that lashes out, that strikes out, that's grunting and growling, because in their minds, demons are akin to animals. They're not humans. They're not capable of the same emotions as humans. And the only reason they communicate is to manipulate. So once the communication fails, once his blades no longer hold up, once he realizes that these humans aren't going to fall for his tricks, they're not going to fall for this discussion, this communication, he has to resort to becoming the monster, the beast side of himself. It's again driving home the duplicity of demons, that they can put on this act, but at the heart of it, they're a monster, they're a demon. They're going to do whatever it takes to survive, and they're not going to fight fair in the process. But it was just such an interesting contrast, and yeah, what a phenomenal episode. I'm so excited to see the last 2 episodes of season 2, but I can't believe like we have 2 more episodes and then season 2 is over. And then we'll have a long wait until season 3, but it'll be worth the wait nonetheless. I'll probably start reading the manga up until where season 2 ends, just to tie me over, so I have something to keep me interested. But yeah, I am very sad that we only have 2 more Frieren Fridays before we have to say goodbye. But again, phenomenal show. Phenomenal. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. Until next episode, bye!